as many times as we manipulate these microphones, I'm sure broke some sort of podcast law.
Like some sort of
like just
etiquette with podcasting. Stop touching the
just
mic.
leave it alone.
Yeah. I'm sure we are in violation of some sort of
right.
Yeah, law. Some sort of guideline.
Right.
Yeah. What's up?
You know, if I was in charge of the US, I would create holidays that don't make any damn sense.
Well, why just the US when humans are everywhere?
Okay.
What about a planetary ambassador?
I'm going to retract that.
Yeah. Yeah. Redact.
I'm going to redact that.
Yeah. What the hell are you talking about?
If I was the president of the entire world,
okay,
I'd create some interesting holidays.
You have my attention.
Okay. One day, and I think it would be January 1st, right? Just go with me on this. January 1st. Every January 1st is Truth Day, where you have to just tell the truth the entire day. Not everybody tells the truth every day, but January 1st, and if you didn't tell the truth, like people would know and they will out you or they'll report you to
the truth police.
Right. And I only let the truth police out once a year.
Yeah. Well, what's the crime if you don't go with it?
Public embarrassment.
Ooh, like
I don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't thought that out.
I haven't.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So,
but could you imagine how many people would either love that day or hate that day?
Yeah, because that, if you starting a year off like that,
right,
that means at some point next year,
you're going to have to be right back in that hot seat.
All the lies you've told throughout the year,
right,
going to come back to bite you in the ass.
What if you done told so many, you take your time telling like 5 or 6,
right,
until the 24-hour clock has lapsed, and now you're like, phew, I didn't tell you all of them, but I was telling you all of them.
Yeah, so you get like a time frame to
I was telling you all of them, but
yeah,
right back into another lie.
Yeah.
After the 24 hours is over, you can say, I was telling you all of them.
I mean, so
the lie starts right after the 24-hour lapse.
Are you forced to tell as many truths as you can within 24 hours?
Yes.
Well,
it's only one day. The holiday is one day.
Yeah, but you can draw out that 24 hours.
That's what I'm saying.
You could just stay on the one lie that you told.
Well, yeah, but you want to make it believable, like you're really telling everything.
Yeah.
You imagine how many lawyers would be like,
out of a job,
or about to get paid.
See, I think opposite.
I think lawyers would be like, oh, I think there's going to be some divorces coming around now. Like somebody's going to get caught doing something.
No,
this is a payday for us.
I think opposite. I think people will just start telling the truth because they don't want to be put in that position. They don't want to be embarrassed.
Ooh, yeah, you might be right.
I know if we have Truth Day is a holiday.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean,
and everyone participates.
So it's mandatory.
Everyone participates.
Okay. Yeah, then I think I'll just be telling the truth from here on out. It's not worth it. It's not worth it lying right now as it is without these holidays.
Yeah, I think it would force some people to be like, okay, why am I constantly shooting the shit?
Yeah. Now, see, shooting the shit and lying I like to think are two different things. If you're lying and you're just
well, you know how I meant it.
Habitual liar.
Right.
Yeah. Then yeah, we got a problem. But I think people would just they would just start to tell the truth.
Right.
No one wants to be looked at or embarrassed or, why did I lie about that?
You imagine what that does to like the government? Like,
yeah, because then the government has to,
they have to admit some things.
Yeah, they have to put a lot of stuff out there.
Right.
A lot of that stuff they've been concealing. Yeah, if you force the government to become transparent, I don't know though. Is there some things that I just don't want to know that the government knows?
Ooh, yeah.
Like, is there some deep, dark agenda that we are just so ignorant to, and we are glad we are ignorant to it?
Right.
I don't know about that one.
Like, that would mean all of the scientists in the world would have to come out and say, we've been testing on, people.
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to like what we've been doing.
Yeah. We probably killed some people just so we could cover up the shit that we've been doing.
Or we're running experiments to see, is there truly something, afterlife?
Yeah. Like they got their scientists,
right?
They're in the bunker somewhere just going to work. And who knows what have already discovered.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know.
I mean,
if it's something like life-threatening.
Right.
Like we're on the cusp of this and that, if we don't stay the course, then I don't want to know.
Right.
Yeah, there's some things that I think we're just not meant to know.
I think Truth Day would either be a good day for some,
right,
or a horrible day for others.
Yeah. Well, and then, if you don't know that person, it's not going to really matter, right? But if you're a friend or a spouse or a loved one, and when Truth Day comes around,
right,
you can only imagine what kind of questions they're going to ask you. Hey, on this particular day, were you lying? And you got to tell your truth.
Dang.
Ooh.
Where was you at 6 p.m. last night?
Yeah. And when you said I didn't look fat in this swimsuit,
right,
were you lying?
Yeah.
Then you got to be like, yeah, I was lying.
Why you got all these ones in your pocket?
Yeah.
What you been doing? They all smell like women's perfume.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at the strip club. Like you have no choice but to come out and say that. Yeah.
I just think it would catch some people up, but those who have no problem with being honest, they'd be like, oh, it's just Truth Day.
Yeah.
I do this every day.
But what about the, I don't know, is it the human ego or the human consciousness that makes us want to tell lies?
Right. I think we need lies.
Yeah. You think so?
That's why this holiday is only
once a year?
Once a year.
So I don't know. You think lies are like a safeguard?
Man, look, I saw a movie where they couldn't tell no lies.
Right.
It didn't play out well.
Yeah. What do you mean it didn't play out well?
Like you just didn't have a mystery to somebody, and it was horrible.
Right.
Like if you ask the wrong question, that can just be,
so you're saying
it could be trauma to somebody. You ask the wrong question and they can't lie.
Yeah, because you can't accept the truth,
right?
For whatever reason.
Why does the truth always hurt?
I don't know.
It's a bigger reason to this holiday. This is why I bring this up. Like you see all of the things that just trickle down.
Yeah. Why does the truth hurt?
I don't know.
Is it because, like, let's just say there's a person that is constantly judging someone. And that's all that person do. Just judges away like their shit doesn't stink. And then you tell someone, that person, you say, hey, you do a lot of judging and you're not perfect. And you're this and this. And when that person that does all the judging hears the truth for the first time about them, it hurts them.
Right. Especially if it's coming from a person who knows you, like they're really a good friend or a family member you're always around.
Yeah. I think that's tied into the ego, because the ego doesn't like to have self be ridiculed or judged.
Right.
We do all the judging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say the truth hurts for that person.
Yeah. Truth Day would be cold-blooded.
Yeah, but even if you're an honest person,
right,
and you try your best to be an honest person, and let's just say you're in a situation where you don't want to tell them the truth because you really care about that person. Like if it was that type of situation and you lie, and then it comes back and that person was like, you lied to me.
Yeah. I know. I'm going to tell you, I fib.
Yeah.
But
we all do.
And I do it for reasons,
Sometimes no reason at all.
Right. Just like, why did I Why did I say that?
Yeah.
Now I got to try to remember that.
Yeah.
Was it to make this dude comfortable?
Was it
to make me comfortable? Why am I doing this? Self, why are we doing this?
Yes. It's a hard thing when you want to tell somebody the truth.
Right.
You know, because you don't want to, obliterate their confidence,
right?
Or whatever it may be.
Or you want to keep this aura about you.
Yeah.
You know, you want to keep this facade. Playing your persona, just changing constantly.
Yeah.
Depending on what lie you told. You know,
can't do no wrong.
Right.
Or you want to be something other than yourself that people attract to.
Right.
Yeah.
It just morphs. The truth just morphs. And it morphs you into different things.
Yeah, and then it snowballs, it gets out of control. Then you don't know what the hell you said.
Right.
Nor why you said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Truth Day is a cold thing for some people.
Hey, let me ask you guys, were you ever in a situation where you didn't tell the truth? Like you had no choice.
And it bothered you.
Yeah. Did it bother
with
you? Yeah. I want to know about that situation or that story. Or has someone told you the truth, but you didn't want to accept it because it hurt that much?
Right.
Yeah. Will we get out there and just start telling the truth and accepting truth?
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do because we're human. There's a person, I wish I could go back, and they had a dang on booger in their nose.
Yeah.
And he was going in for an interview because I was there at the same interview. And he said, "How do I look?" And I said, "You look great." And it was a big one. It was enough to be like, "Sir, you might want to."
Yeah, you might want to.
But I did it out of spite because I thought
check that blowhole.
Yeah,
of yours.
man. I did it out of spite because I thought the interviewer would be like, "Sir, you came in here totally unprepared with that monstrosity in your nasal passage."
Right.
Like thinking like this dude can't even take time out to go get himself ready. So I thought I'd send him in there, get him shot down. I can just come right in under.
Like, you sent him in to fail. Typical man.
Yeah. I want to go back and say, dude, I'm sorry. I
clawing and fighting over each other.
I let you down, buddy. However, when he came out of the meeting, I wanted to say, you had a boogery. But I let him go out his whole day like that.
Oh, no.
I know it.
That's
what do you do?
That's one of those moments where you just don't want to say anything.
I know. And it was bad too. I don't know. I've forgiven myself about it. Hey, I'm just human.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the truth is nasty, man.
I think I told my wife one day, we were going out to eat, and she goes, "How do you look?" And I just...
She goes, "How do you look or how do I look?"
How do I look?
Yeah.
She goes, "How do I look?" And then so I kind of, in my mind, I pressed pause on the movie, and I went, huh. Like,
see, that's too much. That's already telling.
And I knew it was long.
Yeah.
And she knew it was long. And then she started looking at me looking at herself going.
Yeah. Well, what is it?
Well, what is it?
Yeah.
I said, "You ain't going outside like that."
Yeah.
That's all I could say.
Yeah.
You
didn't pinpoint what the exact...
The outfit was just horrible. Right. And I was just like, let me do this.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I went in her closet and was just like, now we can go outside.
But what do you know about woman fashion?
I got a queer eye for the straight girl.
Yeah, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that made sense. But look, I could dress a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah. Well, I guess...
Ask her if she don't come out of the house looking fly as hell when we go somewhere. Well, I don't tell her what to do about her makeup. She really light on the makeup.
Right.
That's a whole other topic we can get in, but I'd much rather have a woman guest here before we do that.
Right.
But, I told her, we ain't going outside. Right. I'm not going with you.
It was that bad you didn't even want to break the plane of the house.
Right. I was like, no.
Well, she obviously had faith in you to pick the right outfit. Did you go out that day?
We did.
Was the outfit right?
It was phenomenal.
Great.
But I think that was kind of an ego thing, because what if she was happy with the outfit and I totally shut her down? This is the thing about truth.
Right.
Like, when you direct it to someone, you have to be consciously aware of how you're going to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife does the same thing. she would always put something on, and she would ask me, how do I look? And I would always tell her, why? Why are you asking me? Every time I say that it looks great, you look good, you change your damn outfit.
Right.
So stop asking me.
Yeah.
And then she'll change into something else. How do I look? It's gotten to the point now, you look great.
Right.
Even if I don't think it looks great, I'll just say it looks great.
I mean,
I won't even lie about it.
Is it me, or is like your wife dressing like us all of a sudden? She just don't wear the ball hats. She got the long sleeve shirts, the hoodies, you know? I guess it's me, but every time I see her, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a nice long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
Where can you score me one like that?
Yeah,
or, oh yeah, that's a nice hoodie. Like, wait a minute. Why are you dressing like us? You a woman.
Yeah.
Damn it. I like it.
I guess after so long, you tend to pick up on each other's style.
Right.
You know?
I just don't ever remember her dressing like that.
Yeah. Well, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a long ass time.
Yeah, I'm just saying that her selection. See, now, if your wife asked me, how do I look if she was wearing the things I see her, I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, my wife can be sneaky.
Yeah. She's probably testing you, just throwing on some crazy
Let's
shit.
See if he really cares about me.
See if he'll lie to me.
Yeah, because when I talk to him, sometimes I swear he's not there.
Yeah.
That's because I'm lost in the sauce most time my wife talks to me.
I think that's any man. Most men.
Most men. Most women who are married to a woman, I'm sure they probably like, what are you saying?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I was lost in the sauce.
Yeah. I'm too busy playing PlayStation right now. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just I hope people could still just get out of their egos and just accept the truth and tell the truth.
Right.
I get why we lie, but we got to be better. We got to stop that.
Yeah.
It's because sometimes it's just good to hear the truth.
Right.
We need it.
But I could just see all the problems
that come with it. Yeah. It's a no-win situation at times.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think we need to meet people physically to have a connection with a complete stranger? Do you think that the time of shaking hands and having to physically be in someone's presence is like, at one point that was the only way to gauge a person's character or his motives?
Yeah.
Now I kind of feel like we're entering this paradigm shift to where I can sense people without even having to physically, be in the same room. Mm-hmm. Like I could be on a text or in the comment section on YouTube and go, I just know that this person, is a good person.
Right. By what they text.
And it may not even be that. Like, I just think we can all feel certain frequencies that just draw us in so close. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's a thing that I think is tangible. Mm-hmm. It's almost like I was walking in a grocery store one day and I passed by a woman and she was just like, once you're intensely looking for something to get in that cart, she was just looking. And I was like, me. I was like, well, what are you looking for? Because, it looks like you lost something on the shelf. And she was like, I'm trying to find this gluten, this and that, And then I help her find it, and we're just kind of rapping back and forth. And immediately I'm like, this lady is cool, And then if I walk down a different aisle and, there's a different person there, and I'll look at them or they'll look at me, immediately,
yeah,
we're not on the same level.
Right. And maybe because it's their disposition.
Right.
That may throw you off.
Or just the simple eye contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're probably evolving into something of that nature.
It's like a paradigm shift. I feel like people are slowly starting to,
transition to something more.
We're starting to feel more.
And then sometimes too that people, I don't know, when you get a text message or you send something out, sometimes you can it'll get misconstrued. You may think they mean one thing and it turns out being something, and you totally misread the message.
Not if you know the person.
Yeah, but sometimes even if you do,
Yeah,
It just depends on the situation of the
guess.
text. You don't know where they're going with it. I can't pick it up a lot by text, but yeah, when we go somewhere, I think I can pretty much gauge who's going to be that lighthearted individual.
Yeah, I think I can feel it over a text or a comment or email. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just a weird thing I can feel in the air that goes, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this person is cool.
We're good here.
Right.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things that you can't see, but it's part of that web, like we were saying, that connects us. Maybe something about that person's path just resonates with you on some divine, unseen thing.
Like, how do we not know all of our subscribers didn't sign up at the same time we did to come to Earth?
Yeah.
And now we're all like, we did it.
Yeah.
We don't know that we did it, but we all got into one group together.
Yeah. We're all here together.
Now disperse.
Yeah.
You know, we did, like, it was almost like a selfie.
Right.
Like, the YouTube subscribers is a proverbial selfie.
Yeah.
Of our astral selves. Like, we were able to connect with each other. Yeah. Look at us.
Yeah. We just have to acknowledge it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's funny how that works, though.
I mean, to me, it's a real feeling.
It is.
Okay, so this feeling, what was I doing? I think I had just finished working out, and I turned the garage light off. And for some reason, I went down to the basement, right? And as I was coming up, I had this creepy feeling. It was almost like a feeling that somebody was going to touch my shoulders. And it just came out of the blue. And I was just like, oh, what was that? It was enough for me to turn around and just like, what was that? You know, it wasn't a scary feeling, but it was an intense feeling, like somebody was right there.
Right. Or
they were getting ready to grab my shoulders. You ever had those creepy, like, I can just sense there's something right here.
Yeah. But I don't know if I've had that before, but I don't know if it was my own psyche playing with me.
Oh, okay.
I've never had it just like an acute awareness, you know? But I think sometimes your psyche could just do things like that. But I don't know. I wasn't in your shoes. Maybe you did feel something behind you getting ready to
I know I felt something.
Play some hands on you. But I do believe that there is this sixth sense about everyone. Like, we all have it. Like, for example, when I'm like patrolling, right, and I pull somebody over, I don't know what it is, but if I think it's a bad interaction or if it's going to go sideways, I do have the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, or something that says, be on guard.
Right.
This may not be a good interaction with this person. So there is something there that just tugs at you.
Right.
This invisible cord that just tugs at you. Hey, be cautious here. Now, what if our senses are, I'm going to take it deeper. What if our senses are like guardian angels?
Right. I was going to get to that.
What if and I've read some things about this, that we are all assigned a guardian, right?
Right.
What if they are able to manipulate us and say, hey, don't do that. Don't turn right here.
Right.
Go the long way around. Like, how much interaction do they play in our lives, and how much are they allowed? You know what I mean? Like, is there guidelines that they can't cross?
Right.
You know, like, hey, you're appointed to these two twins. Okay. But with that, these are the guidelines. You can't cross these guidelines because they're on a path that they wrote out for themselves.
Right.
You can keep them on it. They have so much room off the path. You got to kind of bring them back in, but you can't go beyond like this point of interacting and changing things. You can give subtle hints, you know, to keep them going, but just don't do too much.
I think that's a good possibility, but I also think that there are rival entities that do the exact opposite. That if you are in a negative mind state, they feed on it and they go, oh, we can suppress him now.
Yeah.
You know, his spectrum is a little to the left.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to grab a piece of this soul and kind of tug him this way.
So what do you think that part is?
So I think for every good, there's bad. And if consciously we want to be in a positive light, we have these positive forms that can possibly help guide us on this, you know, so on this journey. But if we falter and we just start going dark for whatever reason,
right,
I think there's a darker side that just goes, oh, he's gonna fall over here.
Of that person.
Right.
Yes.
But they can only manipulate this energy if it succumbs to their side.
Yeah, see, I think that's people, this is just my opinion,
right.
But I just think that's people's other conscious, like, or not the sub, but their other deepest fears of their being like the devil or demons or these dark entities. You know what I mean? I think that's something that person conjures, right?
So you don't think it's like something like we can't see?
No,
that's help inducing it.
You are a powerful being. You can produce something that you want to see and could see,
right?
But I think that's a construct of your own paradigm, of your own imagination. Yeah. So, like for my NDE, when I was there, I couldn't even think of an ill thing or a demonic thing because that's not what my beliefs were. I'm not tied to like the Bible. So I get when people say when they died, they were in hell, right? Or the devil was doing this and that to them because they've molded their lives to suit that. Mine is I'm universal, and the universe, you know, it catered to my beliefs. I didn't get anything like that.
Right.
But it was a podcast. I don't know what channel it was, but this is an older lady. And she passed, and she thought for sure she was in hell. She went through all these little situations and scenarios and these people trying to suppress her. And she ultimately was like in this house, and this devil figure, which she presumed to be a devil, she was in there with a bunch of other ladies. And it was at that point throughout the course of her story, she realized, well, shit, there is no devil. This is just me putting all this guilt in what I thought and believed, because she was heavily religious, because of what I thought and believed to be hell. And she got out of it because she said, this is just my own construct. This is just me not forgiving myself and thinking I'm going to be judged and be damned to my situation, until she saw this bright light, in that she went to it and she got out of her situation. And then she had this more positive, godly like experience. And that godly presence to her, like would tell her, you did that to yourself.
Right.
These are the things that you can conjure because you're that powerful. And didn't let her stay in it. So whatever that may be, for those that are religious, that's something that they go through. For those that are more source bound, universal, it's more of what I kind of like, what I've went through. And even those that are atheists, just because you have the notion of God and the devil, just because you have that inkling of information, can subject you to thinking, oh, I was wrong this whole time. There is a God in hell.
Right.
And they conjure up those beliefs. You know, whatever it is at the end, it seems to pull people out of it. This is why when I look at NDEs, everybody's story is different, because the NDE is really tailoring itself to that individual's belief system.
And their experience. Right.
But there are some commonalities, though. There's the tunnel. There's the bright light. There's the love. There's
the void.
The void, the expanding consciousness. You know, there's these things that are so universal. In fact, you know what I mean? You cannot ignore it. So, there's some atheists out there that just don't believe. And my advice to them is, you don't have to believe. And that's a beautiful thing. That's the best part about life. It's yours. But from my personal fact, this is just my truths. the universe doesn't care that you don't believe in it, nor God or source, but it highly, highly believes in you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's totally appreciative of the fact that you are so in tune to this life that you would disregard that there is anything other.
Right.
So, and people that are atheists, I just think they're more in, this is just my opinion, but they're more in tune to this life, which is good because that's what you want. And then you got those that had a taste, and we know that there's something else after. So, but to fall back on that, I would like to believe that we're surrounded by entities that help us feel these emotions, these connected emotions.
Right.
You
there's danger around,
and they get us through.
Take caution.
Yeah,
right.
and they get us through this life if you're willing to open yourself up to it.
Right.
You can always close it out and just think, I'm doing this myself. It's just me, and that could very well be too. Nothing that we're saying is 100% fact. We just don't know.
Right. Speculation.
It's all speculation.
Right.
Even those that had an NDE, that's all they really had was just the experience. No one really knows what it's like to die because those that have died are there now.
Right.
Can't come back and tell you. But there are those where loved ones come back and say, I'm okay, and this is where I'm at.
Right.
And again, that's for that individual. That's that person's truth, which is gorgeous. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to have something a little bit different tailored to them.
Yeah.
So that kind of jumped us off a track a little bit, but it kind of did.
No, we were still on.
Yeah. It was leading in that direction ultimately. Right. Yeah. And then, I don't know, with all that said, people just got to forgive themselves, man.
Yeah.
And forgive others. It's okay to make these mistakes. You're human. Do them now, because you can't do that on the other side.
So we think. We don't know how. We don't
know.
Out.
But where I was at,
I would like to think none of that matters.
Yeah, where I was at, none of it mattered.
Right.
Not even religion. None of it mattered. Where I was it just expressed to me that you are loved. Did you do a lot of loving? Did you do what you wanted to do?
Right.
It didn't care one iota of my earthly beliefs. All that you learned on earth, that's great. But what, were you a loving soul? Did you set out to do what you wanted to do?
Right.
It was just so worried about me and concerned about me, and just really told me that you really can't do no wrong, at all. Just love the physical life that you were given and just do your best with it.
Right.
So I thought that was awesome. But that's just my account.
Right.
Do
you think there's a gateway, like you don't have to die to see the other side? Like, do you think there's a gateway that we can physically take ourselves to and just pop into the other side? Yeah. Whether it be mentally or drug induced, you think it's possible to take a glimpse?
Yeah, aren't they doing that with ayahuasca and DMT and sometimes?
I don't know if it's the same
mushrooms.
Though.
But that's the thing. Do I think it's possible just to? Yeah, but I think it's possible. But how would you do it? Is my only
right. Like, how do we know it's the other side? When people say they took DMT and they're on the other side, like what? What other side?
Right.
But again, is there a difference between a near-death experience and a hallucination from a drug?
It just depends on that person's perception.
What do you guys think? Is there a difference? Is there a gateway? Can we somehow find the key to get there?
I think we tapped into it. Like the human body secretes dimethyltryptamine, right? We know this. Right. It's a fact. So I think we are able to tap into it. I don't know if that's the key to get there, but I do know from what I've seen, when people are there in that experience, it's just as real as this here.
Right.
It's their truths. So, but I don't know if there's a natural way of doing it, if that's what you want to,
right.
maybe a lot of meditation. I'm sure those who meditate heavily, they can get there. Or have gotten there, but to just like tap into it, I have no clue.
Unit E's wife, apparently she can do it just off meditation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd have to be really, really
diligent.
Yeah.
With meditation practice.
You have to be on it.
I try meditation.
The commitment has to be there.
It does. And no matter how much I try, my mind will not rest.
Right.
It constantly interjects.
Right.
I'll go to one thought to another, and I'll tell myself, okay, get back to center. You're allowed to have those loose thoughts come in and out. Get back to center. And no matter how much I do that, it's just, for me, it's very hard. Or I'll just end up falling asleep.
Right. You just have to be committed. Maybe you can have a outer body experience without actually having to die. But, how do you know how would you know it's the same? I'm sure there's somebody running a test out there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, once you leave your body, this is my fact. Oh man, 100%, and it's way more real than this, my good sir. I keep trying to explain that to you, but there's no way for me to do that.
No,
you're just gonna have to take my word for it.
Right.
It's more real than this because my consciousness was all and expanding.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I just knew all information was being downloaded, and I was like, this is right on. This is right up my alley.
Was the processing of data like this, or was it different on the other side?
It was just rushing to me like someone had an Ethernet cable plugged right into my ass.
And you were just like...
And the information was just not being downloaded, but it was coming to me in waves of, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like somebody was plugging it in. You were like, oh. Well, I was going to ask what that was for, but
and then movement.
Threat not. You don't have to tell me anything. I know all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then movement. Like movement wasn't like I'm going to get up and walk over there. That shit was per moment. I could look at it, think about it, and I was there.
Right.
It just, you knew everything about it. It was great.
I mean, that's just, to me, it's fascinating.
It was great.
I had a lucid dream, and this was about maybe 2 weeks ago. It wasn't the ear ringing thing. I know that. Right. I know those aren't even dreams. That is me being rocketed off somewhere else. But I woke up in this bed, and it was a huge bed. And on the right of me, there was a wall with a oak dresser, and it had pictures and an old school radio on the dresser. Mm-hmm. And it had like an ashtray and I think it was like some incense burning. And I couldn't make out the pictures. And then there's a ball game on the radio. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then the way the bed is situated, at the head of the bed was the window with blinds. And when I laid my head back down, because what's strange was I woke up in the lucid dream, in this bed with brown sheeting and a brown quilt, and the pillows were brown. I remember it so vivid, and
like an Inception type of thing.
Oh yeah. Like, and that's when it clicked in. I was like, oh, I'm having a lucid dream. And then I was like, okay, the first thing I want to look at is the sky. For whatever reason, I want to look at the sky every time I'm in a lucid dream, right? So I just turn my head and I pull the blind down, right? And I look straight up at the sky, and I see the sun on the left, and I see clouds like on the right, and I'm like, oh, man, this is vivid and it's real. I'm like, and I'm telling myself, how is my mind able to do this? And once I took my focus off of the sky, mm-hmm. I looked down the street. This street it reminded me of Long Beach, at our old place in Long Beach, the Cedar Block. Mm-hmm. It kind of looked like that, but it didn't. It was just weird, but for whatever reason, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Cedar Block. And at the end of the street, when I took my eyes off of the sky and I looked down the block, there was a guy, he had like a firefighter suit on, but you could see the suspenders in the pants, and he was carrying like, maybe it could have been his jacket, and he got out of his car and he walked to his house. And I was like, well, that's weird, you know?
What was weird about him walking to his house?
Because I know I'm dreaming.
Right.
I know like normally when I know I'm lucid dreaming, like things don't fall into
place,
to place like a regular dream.
Right.
You know? But it seemed like that dude was real. He walked from his car into his house because he disappeared behind the house. And I was like, oh no, I'm in a lucid dream for sure. And then I was really taking notice of everything. I'm like, how much of this can I remember and take back with me? I looked at my fingers and, you know, I was like, oh, I'm not wearing my watch. You know, I'm like, what else can I think of to take this back? And it was so real. And I was like, okay, now how do I get back? I had a lucid dream like this before. And I was like, oh my God, like, tell me I'm not stuck in here. Or immediately my mind started thinking I'm in a coma. And this is what people in a coma go through. They're stuck in this lucid dream. And so I lay my head back and I try like, okay, how do I get out of here? So I close my eyes. I'm like, if this is a lucid dream, I'll close my eyes. And when I open my eyes again, I should be back in my normal reality. So I kept trying and kept trying. Then I started getting more and more frustrated. And then it was like a vibration in the inside of my head per se. And then I felt this side of my mouth like somebody was fish hooking me. I'm like, oh no, now I'm having a stroke. And the vibration in my head got louder, and the interval started to get more and more shorter. And then next thing I know, it was crazy. And I was thinking, okay, this is it. You know, I'm about to pass away. That's how I kind of felt. And then I closed my eyes and the vibration got so intense. As soon as I opened them, I was opening them slowly, and I could see my wife laying next to me. And I'm like, I'm seeing the bathroom door like rush into its original spot. And I see the ceiling was like, you know, it was doing this type, and the walls were going in like that. It was like the room was a Rubik's Cube, you know, and it was putting itself back together again. And I was like, holy, that was like, it wasn't one of those ear-ringing moments, but it had some of the same feeling to
the
it,
qualities
you know?
of it.
And I was like, and when I woke up, you know, I saw my wife laying down, and then slowly this muscle on this side of the cheek started to relax and like, you know, go back to normal per se. And then that whole day, I told the wife, I said, you know, I got a headache. And I had like a frontal lobe headache for the entire day. You know, I was like, maybe I'm not hydrated, or it went away after, you know, the next day, but it was so intense. Like, man, the bed I was laying on, it was a large bed. Oh, the other thing I forgot to say was when I looked out the window, there were 3 cars in my driveway. I call it my driveway. And there was a woman with long black hair, and she had long black hair with she was walking away from me, long black hair with a silver streak on the right side going down. Never looked back, got into the car, went into reverse and drove down the block. And I was like, and it was too thin of a frame to be, you know, the wife. And I was like, well, who's that? You know?
When you said, who's that, did it, like it was somebody that you knew?
She was leaving the house. It kind of felt like maybe this woman was going to work or something, or the bed looked like there was someone laying next to me, you know? And I just had the sheet on. You know what was odd enough was the quilt was at like pushed down towards my feet, and I just had the sheet. And I can hear this ball game being played on the radio, like an old school radio. And I was like, man, like, where am I? You know what I did try to do? I'm sorry, but I tried to like, oh, let me see if I can smell, you know? And I can't remember if I could smell anything, but I could definitely hear because the ball game was going on in the back. And you know what I should have done was focus in on the pictures on the dresser.
What about this? What about the cars? Were the cars of era? Were they modern?
Yeah, they were modern cars.
So you had this radio playing.
She got into like a burgundy car.
Yeah, it was. It seems like it was like a hot summer morning.
I mean,
you had the quilt down and just the sheets on you.
It could have been
back in Long Beach. We really didn't have AC.
No, I've never really lived in a house that the head bed space was the window.
Right. So what? So that makes me think that could have been. What if your dream wasn't a dream, but you tapped into yourself in a different reality?
That's what I was thinking, but I was like, or what if I'm waking up in someone else's
life?
Or what if I got a glimpse of someone else's life?
Yeah.
But it sure in the hell felt like that woman came out of my bed, was going to work. Oddly enough, she never turned around. I don't remember her face, but I do remember a cylindrical woman walking to a car, just going about, and then seeing, I guess was a firefighter, like getting out of his car, like straight from work and going into a house. Like, there was these things that just didn't make sense, and they were going about whatever they go about.
Normal life.
Right. Now, was it a dream? I have no idea. Could it have been a dream? Absolutely. You know,
but it was profound enough to make you think about it.
I definitely knew I was in there. I was running tests because I knew I was in there, you know, and then that's not normal. Normally when I know I'm having a dream, instantly I kind of wake up or things just start to crumble around me and I wake up.
Right.
As soon as I recognize it, I'll go, oh, I'm in a lucid dream. I'm dreaming. This ain't real, you know, and then I wake up.
Yeah.
But this, I could not wake up from.
Right.
I had to really focus in on like, okay, how do I get out of this?
Yeah, it just, when I've had lucid dreams, it seems like it takes hold. Normally when I have a lucid dream and I realize that it's a lucid dream, I wake up instantly. Because I'll try to hold on to things like, what does that look like?
Right.
Like, I'll try to really like pinpoint objects and focus my energy. And I know once I do that, it's like whatever the dream is or the consciousness goes, nope, you're starting to think this is real. It's time to wake up.
Right.
But there was a lucid dream where I was at a grocery store and for whatever reason, I woke up in the dream at the checkout and I was like, oh man, this is a dream. There's no way this is real. Something just like got into me and said, this is a dream.
Right.
And I'm looking at the money and I'm handing it to the lady. And right when I handed it to her, I kind of glanced up at her face. Well, her face became distorted. And I said, oh, well, there you go. It's a dream. But it didn't let me out. Right. And I'm going, okay, I know it's a dream now. This lady really doesn't have a face. I can hardly see it. I know I'm in this shopping line. Why are you not waking me up? I don't know who I was talking to.
Right.
So I was like, well, since I'm in here, I might as well take notice of things. So being me, I wanted to see like what I looked like. And I would look at my hand and it would be so bright and vibrant. Like the colors in the lucid dream are always vibrant and bright. And then I would look at like the floor and the ceiling and I'll try
and it's always got some sort of shimmer to it.
Yes, it has this different quality about the picture. It's way clear.
Right.
And it's more alive than here. Like this seems really dull.
Right.
There it was like ultra.
It has a shimmer to it.
Ultra 8K.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. And so I started to tell myself, well, let me do things like teleport myself.
Right.
You know, not even walk anymore. And the moment that I thought about that and tried to do it, I woke up. So it's like the mind can only let you go so far once you acknowledge it when you're in a lucid dream.
And it seems like extreme fear or the acknowledgement of the dream more than likely will wake you up.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Kicks or something like that?
Inception, strong kick, a fall or something. Mm-hmm. Hey, I noticed that when I'm falling in my dream, I wake right up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then every time you come back from a dream, it seems like you were there longer, I think. I don't know. Every time I wake up and I have a lucid dream, it just felt like I was there for a long time.
Right.
And then like only seconds have passed. It's weird.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever had a lucid. We got asking a lot of questions of you guys. It's gonna be something else in the comment. But if you ever had a lucid dream and you knew you were dreaming, and if so, was it crazy for you? Was it your first one? Your second one?
Did you ever have one where you were locked in?
Yeah.
I know I was locked in.
If it didn't let you go.
I hate playing Sherlock Holmes to get out of a dream.
Yeah.
That's just, it's wrong. And it makes me fearful.
Yeah.
Especially when we have the ear ringing events.
Right.
The only reason why we haven't spoke about our, what do we even call them?
Our experiences and
Our
my NDE on the channel.
Yeah. Our ear ringing
vibrations
episodes.
Yeah.
Which sends us off into a different reality, or the same reality, but a different construct.
Right. Right.
The only reason why we haven't said much about this, we have someone coming February 24th.
Yeah, he's a good friend.
He's a good friend, and he is going to
help moderate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's going to, keep us in line, and then also ask the questions that most of you viewers will probably want to be asked.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a perfect guy to
share it with.
Yeah. If we wanted a moderator to do that, that'd probably be the guy to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that said, let us know. This is another fantastic podcast.
I got one more thing.
What do you got?
Okay.
Well, we don't really have time. Can you save it?
No, this has to be said.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have to indulge now.
Okay.
All right.
And you made me so happy by just saying
that.
Yeah.
You see what I can do?
Yeah.
Well, go on.
Okay. So, pertaining to monkeys.
Oh, what did I just do? What did I open the gates up for? I had us at a good cutaway segment. We were going to leave, but now we're back on monkeys.
Okay. Pertaining to monkeys.
Right.
Do you think they hold like social events or like parties or monkey banquets? Like, do they allow other people to come to them in their domain, wherever it may be? And if they do, like, how does that look? Do they like invite the other tribe over and they go, this is Baba?
Yeah.
This is Boo Boo?
Yeah.
Like, welcome to our domain.
Yeah.
With do they have a dance or something?
With other species of monkeys.
Right. Are there other monkeys that just make noise and that noise is like the rhythm of the banquet? And they get to swing in the trees or like, what does that look like for in a social event for monkeys?
I don't know. Do monkeys interact with other species of monkeys?
I would like to think
that they do.
Like regular monkeys will go to the gorillas hangout and go, so these are, what if the gorillas are like the warriors?
Yeah.
The warriors of all monkey species.
Right.
And when you go to meet these guys, they're just always tough and aggressive.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, these guys are the Navy SEALs,
Of monkeys.
Of gorillas.
Yeah.
And then you got the regular spider monkeys or whatnot.
Yeah.
And they just go and they introduce themselves.
Yeah.
And go, hey.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
This is us.
Yeah.
Baba, say hi to, what's your name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do they bring gifts?
Do they?
But
then you got the spider monkeys, like you were saying with the spider monkeys. I would think those would be the monkeys that like to steal shit.
Yeah, like what if you like, hey,
you can't invite them.
Yeah, we'll never introduce ourselves to these guys.
Yeah, we had a bad encounter,
right?
And they stole everything.
Right,
like we had all these nuts and bananas out for everybody, and then goddamn spider monkey came and stole it all.
Right, Baba, didn't this guy steal from you? Like,
yeah.
And they're always stealing from you.
So there's other monkeys excluded from these banquets,
right?
Per se. Yeah, I don't know if other monkeys get together and shoot the shit.
And then you got the risk taker monkeys. Like, well, God, you guys like to eat things you're not supposed to eat, and
oh hell, we'll eat it with you.
Yeah, it's just like, and then we don't know how to treat ourselves if it was poisonous, and
yeah, but you guys do.
Yeah, you're risk takers.
Yeah, other monkeys will be like,
Yeah,
you need to eat this charcoal first before you eat this.
Right. And how did they get that across?
Yeah.
I wonder if they have to like slap the hand or
do some sort of wild
push them back
gesture
and just take it out of their hand and go, no.
Yeah.
This is first.
And then show them.
Then this.
Yeah. And you got the other tribes of monkey out there just learning from one another.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I don't know, man.
I mean,
I would like to know if there's a monkey disco going on right now in the jungle.
Right. You have to know that there's a rhythm that, maybe some monkeys is just,
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he broke out that jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's get it.
And the whole jungle hears it.
Right.
And they know it's like, oh, the monkey duo are playing tonight over at this corner of the jungle.
I bet their entertainment isn't far off.
I bet it isn't.
They have to know what dancing is.
Yeah. It can't be that far off from us.
Right.
Now,
monkey disco.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if they're already out there doing orgies to forgive and forget.
Right.
There's got to be
they have to be having some sort of
party out
gathering.
There. Yeah.
Just think about a monkey gathering.
Yeah. It would seem like it would be just nuts.
Right.
Just bananas.
Right. It would be full of monkey business.
Yeah.
I like thinking about monkeys like this because they look like us. They're not far from us. They're 95% of our DNA. 95% of our DNA.
And they just don't give a shit.
And there is a mystery as to how I think the consciousness of a monkey
just gets along.
Right. Or what what are they experiencing from life?
Right.
Some of them are really cute. Some of them are really ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that one monkey whose ass is just like different colors.
Right. And it's out all the time. It won't grow hair.
Yeah. Could you imagine if we had like pants with our asses are just out? I don't think I'd be like, I don't want to see that.
No. I mean, but if that's what we did, you wouldn't notice anything anyways.
Yeah. How did my pants look with my ass out?
Right.
Yeah, that's
and my ass is different colors, just so you know.
Just it's red, blue, purple.
What if we were all the same color, complexion wise, but everybody's ass was a different color?
Yeah.
That's essentially what a monkey is.
Yeah.
He's all fur
and
a colorful ass.
Yeah, and if you shave a monkey, they're all pink.
Right.
Oh, some of them, I think. Right.
Yeah. Strong as hell. You ever seen a bicep on these dudes?
Yeah. I saw a hairless chimp.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, that dude he looks great.
I wonder if monkeys are like, you remember in the 80s, the Warriors?
Yeah, the movie The Warriors.
The Warriors.
Yeah.
I bet you the monkeys, they're like a gang like the Warriors.
Yeah, you got like the baseball fury be like the chimpanzees.
Right. Because they'll eat you up and stuff.
Yeah.
They eat themselves.
They do.
And then who would the spider monkeys be? I think the spider monkeys would actually be the Warriors.
Yeah.
Just
because they know how to get away and they were constantly on the run.
Right. And they was always thin in numbers.
Right.
You never seen a lot of warriors in that movie.
I would say the gorillas would be the what were the baldies called? Like,
oh yeah,
they were all bald headed.
Yeah, what were they called?
I don't know. We'll have to look that one up.
The editor take care of it.
It would be them.
Yeah,
in the big old school bus, just ready to pounce on all the other monkeys.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the? There was a woman gang in the Warriors too.
The Izzies?
Was it the Izzies?
I don't know. I think so.
What would that monkey breed look like?
Yeah, just a bunch of female monkeys running rampant.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably be in control of everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're going too far with this monkey business.
We are. I just think it's a fascinating thing about that creature.
Yeah.
And the entire species, I think, is underlooked, and they are very, very intellectual beings.
Yeah. And we just take them for granted.
Right.
What do you think? What do you guys think about the monkey business? What do you think about monkeys?
Yeah.
We're going to get out of here.
We are.
this wild show is over. Right?
I guess, but I just like to think about monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monkey business.
Like the channel.
Subscribe.
Yeah. And ring the bell.
Did we say that at the same time?
We almost did, but I stopped.
Oh,
because I was going to let you finish it.
Yeah.
And as always, the Patreon's up. I mean, you could donate if you like it.
I mean, we could donate too.
Yeah.
If we like it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
We'll catch you next time.
On the flip.
Peace. You're not going to say peace?
I was giving them the stare. That we're going to cut this right after this stare. Maybe not.